Hello, this is Bullet with another Destiny 2 video. In today's video, I want to go over the basics of the character menu, weapons, and gear mods, and shaders. I'm doing so because it has been brought to my attention that some are having real difficulty in understanding some of this stuff, and I can't blame them. I remember when I first started playing Destiny back in January, I hated it because of the menu. I thought it was overcomplicated and I just didn't understand it all. I mean, there were these consumables and perks, and I wanted nothing to do with the game. I just wanted to log in and start shooting things. However, because my friends were playing Destiny, I slowly began to understand how the menu worked, and soon it became second nature. But there were a few weeks when I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I would run out of room in my weapon slots and consumable spaces, and I just deleted things that I really shouldn't have, and I regretted later. It is my intention with this guide to hopefully explain some of the features as basically as possible in an attempt to help you avoid deleting things you may regret later, as I did. On a special note, I'm on Xbox, so I may refer to various buttons by the Xbox terminology. But if you're a PC or PS4 player, I'm sure you're familiar with your controller or button layouts. There's going to be a lot to cover here, but I don't want to get into a lot of detail. I've tried to make this video several times, and with each attempt it's been between 30 to 60 minutes long. I was providing too much detail. When I played it back, I was even confusing myself. So I will do my best here to keep it simple, and hopefully this will help you get a better grasp of what's going on in the menu and help you rank up your gear and weapons faster. Okay, I'm going to try to do this live, so forgive me. There's probably going to be a lot of times where I say and I clear my throat a lot. Here we go. Logging in. Okay, let's go into our menu. When you first open your menu, you're going to find that you've got a top bar that gives you basic information. The orange area right here, this little bar, shows how far until you reach your next level. I'm at 20, so I don't go to level 21. I get a bright engram. And then you can see your level and light above. Over to the right, we have your character, to your left the clan. You access those by hitting your right and left bumpers. I just started my clan, so there's not much to see there. And there's our inventory, and then settings. Important here, if you need to change characters, you hover over logout and then change characters. If you have a different gamer tag, you can switch your profile here, and then the other settings explain themselves. Let's go back to our character. Now, as far as this page, it's basically one long page. To access the bottom portion of this page, hit the down thing. I don't even know what it's called. And here you can access whatever sparrows you may have, your ships, your emblem, and your emotes. Let's go back up by hitting the up button. Now, in these two columns, in the first column, you're going to have your subclasses or supers. Right now, I have 3 of them. You may not. If you're just starting, you'll only have 1. I'm going to go into a little bit of detail about each super or each subclass, just so you have an idea what's going on. When you first start, you will have to earn credits to unlock various features, like this over here, and I think the grenades and some of the jumps. It'll start you with, I think, 3 basic, you have your super, and you'll get a grenade and a rift and one of the jumps. You may get all of them, I don't remember. When you get an unlock token, you'll see how many credits you have right here. It'll appear that you have 1. These work across all if you have all three of these supers, when there's an unlocked token available, each one of these will pulse. So you can use an unlocked token for any one of your supers. A special note here, each super has two subclasses, I guess you would call them. You can choose one subclass or the other. You can choose, for example, this set of 4 or this set of 4. You can't say, hey, I want to use Swift Strike and I also want to use Everlasting Fire. You use all 4 of these or all 4 of these. And it's like that with every super. Now below that, we have 3 weapons and your ghost. Weapons are determined by, you have what are called now Kinetic Weapons, Energy Weapons, and Power Weapons. Now every weapon will have details to it. You'll see the name, weapons, perks, mods, the attack value, and the weapon stats. Some of these stats you can change by changing some of the perks. If you notice the stats as I hover over some of the perks, you'll see that the stats change. So you can say, oh, well, I want better handling. I'm going to choose this perk. Now below, this is where it can get a little confusing. This is a scout rifle. You want to increase your attack value. The goal is to get the highest attack value possible. If you want to infuse a weapon, that's how you'll increase the attack value. You would pick a weapon that has a higher attack value, but it's got to be another scout rifle. You can't infuse a scout rifle with a submachine gun. It will show below all your scout rifles. If it's faded like these two are, then you can't use them to infuse, because chances are, as it says here, the base power is too low. I could, if I wanted to, infuse my Mida, but no. All weapons basically run the same way. Now, what's really confusing people are these mods. Every mod or every weapon and every piece of armor has the ability to mod it. In this case, Uriel's Gift, this auto rifle, has a void damage mod on it. It's a legendary mod. You can tell that because it's purple. All the legendary mods that I've seen increase the attack value of weapons by 5. So really the base attack value of this weapon is 279. If for some reason I wanted to change this to a solar element, and I don't have a solar void here, I could use this blue one. It works exactly the same as the legendary, except it doesn't give me the 5 attack value. So I could choose this, but it's going to delete this void. It won't pop back here. I will lose this mod, this void mod, forever, and it will be replaced with this solar mod, and my attack level will go back down to 279. The opposite is true. Let's look at another weapon here that probably doesn't have a mod on. Doesn't have a. All right, here I don't have any other mods, but this has the blue mods, which are rare mods, and it's kinetic. If I had a legendary one down here, I would be able to attach it. It would increase the attack rate by 5, making it 284, and that would be pretty awesome. So when it comes to these mods, think twice before you delete them. These ones are usually not too hard to come by. The legendary ones, a little more difficult. You can buy some from Banshee at the tower. However, his supply is limited. I think he's got 10 mods there, and I wasn't able to buy any last week because you have to be level 280, and I wasn't high enough yet. So I don't know if his inventory changes every week, but I would load up on the ones that you need because you can do some really cool things. To explain what I'm talking about better, the things you can do, let's look at the armor. Here I've got a Warlock helmet, and it's got a solar mod, and it's only rare, so it's not increasing the defense. Now I could equip it with this one that allows me to absorb more damage, and it could increase the attack level by 5, making it a 284. But I don't really want it to do resilience, because I either have one already that increases my resilience on another helmet. So each helmet I've got, I want to be able to do different things. And that's what's great about this, is I've got these various helmets, and I've got this one that increases my handling for energy weapons. This one will make my class abilities for when I have a void subclass selected. It'll increase the abilities or let them recharge faster. What's great about this is these are stackable. So let's say I'm running void and I want my abilities to recharge quicker. Then I can take 2 or 3 of my sets of armor pieces here, or all of them, and eventually work them so all of them will increase my void abilities. Now, tip here: if you play a lot of PvP, you like to spend your time in the Crucible, one of the really cool weapons is the Mida Mini, if you have it, or basically any submachine gun. The problem with submachine guns, they're really hard to handle. What's great about these, though, is these are energy weapons, and you can have some of your mods will improves handling for energy weapon. If you run a couple of these, 2 or 3 of them, you will be deadly accurate with your energy weapon. I mean, it's insane. You can it'll really make a big difference in your gameplay. I've been experimenting with that over the past couple days, and it makes a huge difference. Anyway, so that's kind of the overall thing about mods. Now, I want to look into while we're still talking about mods, if you go into your inventory and you go down to this middle one, these are modifications. Here's all your mods. You have room for 50 of them, but similar mods will stack, so you don't have to take up 3 slots with something that recharges your void grenades. But you're going to run out of space, and once you do, they're going to start loading up in at the postmaster. So you might have to delete some. I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning, and I needed space, so I just started deleting stuff. And it was a mistake. I'm pretty sure I deleted some legendary things I didn't want to, or I shouldn't have. Now, in my personal opinion, the types of things that I don't have a problem deleting here are the resilience. From what I understand, I've seen a couple of videos and they've said that these are somewhat useless. They work, but then they wind up resetting after you lose damage, and I didn't understand exactly the situation, but the point they were making is they felt that they weren't as effective as saying using something to increase the generation of your grenades, or make a power weapon or kinetic weapon or energy weapon handle better. In fact, no, this is the one, the health mod. This is the one they said that or I've heard isn't really worth it. But what I haven't experimented with that yet, so I can't say for sure. The ones I tend to delete when I need space are these Transmat Effects, because I don't really care. I can't really see them when I spawn into the game. I can see them a little bit. They're mainly for anybody else's enjoyment who happens to be near you, and they go, oh, look, he looked like an arc when he spawned in, and personally, I don't really care. If you do, you might want to find something else to delete. But if let's say you want to delete a void damage mod for some reason, well, there's 20 of them here. You have to sit there and hit delete for 20 times. So, I go with the closest single things that I don't think I need to clear up space. You can't equip anything from here. This is basically just to look at or to delete. That's all you can do here. Below, we've got all your shaders. The thing to understand about shade, and the same goes here, you can look at them, but and apparently preview them, and you can delete them. You can't equip them. To equip any one of these shaders, go back to your character, and let's say we have some leg armor here. You would go inspect details, and then you would choose a shader. You can hit the preview button and see what they'll look like. The thing to remember, these things, even though you'll get them as rewards for opening chests and completing missions and nightfalls, and they're always throwing shaders at you, and you think, how awesome is that? I have all these shaders. But this is a legendary shader. If I want to apply it, that's 750 glimmer. It costs you. It's like they say, hey, you want a free TV, but if you want to watch it, you still have to buy it. I mean, what's the point? And 750, and that's actually not bad. If you want to see bad, look at your ships, go into shaders, and if you want to equip this one came with it, but if you want to equip a legendary shader, 15,000 glimmer. It's insane. Ain't nobody got time for that. All right, let's go back to our menu. Now, over here on the left, important things to notice on the right column. The amount of glimmer you have. Your legendary shards. You get these by dismantling rare and legendary weapons and gear. I believe sometimes you get them from chests in the strikes. I don't recall. This is bright dust. You can get this sometimes from opening up bright engrams or dismantling. I believe if you dismantle shaders or things that you got from the bright engrams. What else is of importance here that you need to know? All right, the first one, consumables. There's a lot to see here. Most of it you don't need to worry about. But I will break it down quickly. When you go to any planet or moon and you complete public events, challenges, adventures, if you get rewards from the faction leader on that planet, a lot of times, well, not when you get rewards, but everything else in the game, the faction leader doesn't give them. Your faction leader will redeem these. And it's done by itself. You go to the faction leader, and you click a few buttons, and you more or less cash them in, and they're used basically to help you rank up. There's every place in Destiny 2 has one. They also have things that you can collect as you're running along. You'll see things that are kind of glowing. Every planet and moon has something different, and when you come across them, you can save them. They're the same thing as the tokens. They help you rank up faster. So you see I have some that need to be turned in. But there are some cool things here that you can actually use. For example, if you go to Cade, he has these scout reports. And what you can do with these is, if you know you're going to be on Nessus for a while, you can use this and it'll highlight treasure chests when you get within, I think, 30 meters to them. And there's one for every planet. Keep an eye out on Cade. Every week he also has you have to buy him, but once a week he'll have a thing where you can buy his own. You can buy maps, treasure chest maps, and there'll be locations to where he's got loot hidden. It's fun, but a lot of this stuff it can be hard to find. You'll be standing there and you're right on the spot, but if you don't see it, look up or look down. Is there a way to get above where you're at? Is there a way to get below where you're at? Because sometimes it's not in plain sight. You have to hunt. One of the coolest things are these Fireteam Medallions. I'm not sure all of the ways that you can get these. I have gotten them through the bright engrams from Tess Everest, and these are awesome. It says increase XP gains and loot for you and the members of your fire team, or a match from strike, public events, and the Crucible lasts for 4 hours. These, I believe, are stackable. You can load one up, and I think it's 20 seconds later you can load another one up. I usually run one or two when I plan on playing for a while, which is every time I'm not making a video. These are important, and they'll help you and your fire team immensely get more loot more often. It doesn't, you'll go and open and get nothing but these tokens when you open loot chests, but every fourth or fifth one ish, you'll get a legendary and occasionally an exotic at a faster rate than you would if you were just running around without them. So keep an eye on those if you have a chance to pick them up. I would spend all of your bright dust on those. And I think that's it. I think we've covered everything. If you have any questions, just post below and I'll try to answer it. If I don't know the answer, I will try to find out the answer and get back to you within 24 hours or less. Okay, I think that's it. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, if you thought it was helpful, consider giving it the thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. As I've said before, I appreciate it. It makes me feel like I'm not really just talking to myself. Thanks for watching.